Alright guys, here it is. This is our first episode with Clay Yance and myself, Clint Vines. See what y'all think of it. This is just us. See what happens and enjoy. And remember to go like us on Facebook and YouTube, Full Circle Podcast. Appreciate it.
Yep. Oh, how's your driving?
Fucking hot, man. I went to P2. Got some red draws. There was some. By the way, Justin's girlfriend works there. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
So she said I was sitting there hanging out, and she goes, "The guy that just sat down next to y'all is really weird, so you might want to move." And I was like, "I welcome weird." So, and he was really pretty cool until he got a couple drinks in him.
Mm-hmm.
And you could not have texted me sooner.
Really?
Yeah, he'd say, he'd just be sitting there and say, "Yeah, well, sometimes that's the way the world goes round." And I go, "Excuse me?" I'm telling you.
Well, that's
So
the way.
I rolled out.
That's the way the world goes around.
So where's Amanda?
She's still in Lawton. She's working on getting back right now. She's a tow truck already came and got her. I don't know. Fucking Jeep Patriots. Told her not to get one.
She did it anyway.
It was. I mean, I had stock shit. I co-signed on it, so.
Yeah. You know what that means is you both got one.
Yeah, I both got one. But no, it's gonna be all right. It's just the transmissions in them are belt driven, so Firestone won't touch it.
Really?
Yeah.
See, we had an issue with the Jeep Commanders.
They're all pieces of shit unless it's a real Jeep.
Check this out. Jeep decided in the Commander to let's redesign every square inch of the vehicle. Let's put different shocks and different body panels, different headlights. But
It doesn't matter.
let's take the main wiring harness off of a Jeep. What was it?
Cherokee.
Cherokee. Yeah. What's his name?
Cherokee.
No. Darren. Wow, I just fucked up. My brain fart there. Anyway, they took the same wire harness and put it in there, and it was stretched too much. So if the transmission would flex so far, it would unplug the entire car.
Wow.
Get you some.
Wow.
They recalled it. But why would you do that as a company? Why would you just say, I'm ready to get lazy now?
I've got this setting aside. So we can use it on this.
Yeah, we got all these
Basically,
extra
all it is.
ones. So,
No, I gotta.
you need to work.
Man, I have to call
You can
in.
call in for this?
No, I can't.
No.
I don't need
You
to.
gotta make money, don't you?
Yeah. Yep.
Why does it feel so good in here?
I don't know.
This is not right.
It does feel nice in here though.
It's
There's
nice.
no air conditioner on or nothing.
So did you build this up?
No, this is an old office that my mom had for a screen painting place.
How's the folks?
They're good. They're good. Doing okay. How about yours? How's your kiddo?
She's freaking growing like a weed, dude. She's big.
Where are they at? Home?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were gonna go do stuff, but the neighbors next door hired some Mexicans to come move them, and they literally brought a full-fledged CDL needing semi to move all their shit. Well, they proceeded to block off my entire driveway. I had to drive down my sidewalk to get out of my house. So even if I wanted to take the Subaru, couldn't.
Y'all got a Subaru?
Mm-hmm. Got a WRX.
Oh,
That's my little ride.
Cool.
06 model, 10 grand, fun little car.
Hell yeah, perfect.
Yeah, everybody. You still got yours?
Yeah, it's in the shop over there still.
Should last forever.
Yeah, they will once you put a good motor in them.
Mm. You don't need them damn motors.
Shit, yeah, that's the problem. Is
Pesky.
a refurbished one's fucking $2,500.
Subaru shit ain't cheap, dude.
No, definitely
I was
not.
looking on.
They're worth it.
I was looking online. There's these kits you can buy for them WRXs. They're a couple grand, and it's like this #1 top selling kit. But you could really branch out there. I found an engine block for 18 grand, dude.
Yeah.
Like if you want to go all out, that's some Ken Block shit. I ain't trying to do that.
No, I ain't doing that shit either.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do plan on doing with that Subaru, I do want to put another motor in it, and then, man, they sell lift kits for them fucking things and everything.
Is that all-wheel drive?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we need to get on it.
Oh.
Snorkel,
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Like
Oh,
for
yeah.
everything.
big time.
That's
But don't buy
that's
a
the
snorkel.
project. No, I'm gonna make it.
You have to make it.
I'm gonna definitely make it.
It's not even legit if you buy one.
Why would I buy one?
I don't know.
I'm gonna buy a
There's
lift kit.
PVC pipe everywhere. We just grab a little bit of it.
Yeah. I got plenty of oil field pipe around here. A little
Well,
heavy,
I don't
but
know if I'd make it out of that.
I'm joking.
Might help you sink. Yeah.
Yep.
So what are some of our topics for today?
There are no
We need to solve
set
the
topics.
problems of the world,
Yeah, that's the plan.
but I don't know what any of them are.
Well, probably one is this her fucking shit show of a presidential candidacy we have.
Yep. There's some controversy in this next statement I'm going to say, but I don't vote.
I don't either, so I can say whatever. the fuck
So,
I want.
I said that to a guy at work, and he was like, well, that's part of the problem. I said, it's not a problem. I said, I just refuse to choose of the shiniest turd in a sea of shit.
Mm.
And it's, why do I got to go and register, take time out of my day, and pick someone who's going to fuck it up anyway? So,
That's right.
I just leave it in the hands of the rest of our brilliant nation, and I adjust to whatever they fuck up.
There you
That's
go.
what we all do. Every presidency.
That's how we have to live. That is the way we live.
The funny thing is, man, you think about it, is every time we have a president, they're a worthless piece of shit, no matter how it pans out. That's how they end their term.
Mm.
And then we get the other one. And then the last one didn't look so bad.
Right.
So, Obama.
Exactly.
Wonderful piece of shit.
Yep. Way better.
Now,
it
he's
seems
looking
like
a lot better than he's been now.
Right.
Yeah.
He seems much more articulate to these pieces of shit that are running
I
around
will
now.
tell you this. So I'm not for anyone. I actually liked a lot of the stuff Ted Cruz would talk about, but nobody likes Ted Cruz.
Yeah, Ted Cruz piece of shit.
But I think, Obama won, I feel mainly because he has a winning complexion. That's it. His skin color, that's it. We got it out of the way, though.
Yeah.
So imagine if we didn't elect him, we just hired another white guy, but now we got Hillary.
Now we got that woman aspect coming.
Now we got, hey, let's try a woman. But now we know it don't make a shit, the sex, the race, the whatever. Bottom line, I feel, is it's too much responsibility for one man to do.
I totally agree with
I
you.
can't walk in a room with 10 people and all of us agree on the same thing. How are you going to do 300 million and everybody agreeing? So
Yes.
I just stay away from it and I don't vote.
I agree. I do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I do the same thing. Yep. 300 million people and nobody's going to agree on shit.
Mm-mm.
Nobody. That is the way of the world 100%.
That's it.
But Hillary is the establishment. That's who the establishment wants. I imagine that she'll probably get. They're putting Trump out there now. I think they put Trump out there as a joke at first, just to kind of get everybody's mind off everybody else, just to get somebody that they don't have to worry about having to elect as a Republican candidate. And now they've got Hillary. So Hillary doesn't look so bad compared to when you're looking at Trump. I mean, as far as if you're looking at their political stances and foreign policy, foreign policy.
I look at it this way. There's some problems with the nation, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody, we all have problems. But what I don't try to do is I don't try to fix them all at once. I don't try to find an all-in-all solution to solve all my issues. So one of the issues I think our country has is obviously our debt.
For sure.
And for that reason, I see Trump as somewhat of a viable choice.
Mm.
All his other shit is retarded.
Yeah.
The whole building a wall thing, I think, is just the craziest shit. I thought it was a joke the first time I heard it.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was quite ridiculous.
but if he can get in here and spend 4 years, or even, god dang, what if it takes him 8 months to fix our shit, and then they impeach him? It's still fixed when he's gone.
No doubt about it. But
Let's learn from that.
we do have to remember that he's still a businessman, and we don't know. He's never been a politician, so he's gonna have all these advisors helping run his office. So we also got to keep that in mind, because that's gonna ultimately decide what happens if he does get elected. So
Yeah, and another thing I like about him is he had a speech. I guess Bernie Sanders had gotten some points, and
I liked
because
O'Bernie.
of the
I
way,
liked O'Bernie. I'll tell you the truth.
because of the way that our government's set up, even though he won certain things, he couldn't possibly win, and Trump called that out. And he said, our government is so, you remember this speech?
I don't think so.
He said, our government is so fucked up, in a sense. He didn't say that, but he said, this guy won this, whatever he won there, But because of the way that our government runs things, he can no longer win. And he said, that's not right. That's wrong.
Yeah.
And so he knows, man. He knows there's some shit out there. He's just kind of retarded, though. Like, he's got the gall, he's got the balls to fix
no doubt
things
about
that are bad, but he, at the same time, his mind, his moral compass is fucked.
More compass
You know,
is
it's
fucked.
like he doesn't.
And you don't want somebody like that running the country.
No, I don't
Hell
want
no.
anybody. In all honesty, I don't want anybody in charge of the way my life goes.
I
How
don't-
much taxes I pay or
agree.
anything, but
I
someone's
agree.
gotta be.
I agree. Well, that's why I liked some of Bernie's ideas because he'd be getting rid of a lot of government. In the long run,
Yeah.
the stuff that doesn't, the useless spending. But you know who else I found recently is Larry Johnson, the libertarian, and he's actually still kind of he's the third party. What do you call it? I don't know, the third party.
You have to know this
He's the third party
because I don't know it.
screwball or whatever,
Yeah.
He's the monkey wrench that could be tossed into the fucking factory. And I hope he does, because he seems more of a politician. He was the governor of Arizona, I believe, and implemented a lot of things that changed things there for the better. He has a good podcast with Joe Rogan. He went on Joe Rogan about 2 weeks ago, and was on there talking about all of his views and everything. And I liked a lot of what he had to say. There's plenty of stuff that I think he's a little overboard on, but all in all, it was better than the other two.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things that one thing about this nation that I've seen, this country, and I'll be honest with you, I think I'm not gonna lie, I think it's the cell phones is what's caused this, but I think everyone is so impatient and entitled to their opinions, and I got proof of that. Just
Everybody.
scroll through Facebook.
100%.
Now look at the gorilla.
Everybody's
thing.
a social justice
Look at the
warrior.
gorilla thing. Who gives a fuck? That has not. Whatever. I wasn't there. I've got absolutely no say in it.
Why are you outraged?
Look how much time and energy is spent on that. And then there's, how you've got a kid. Y'all have a recent kid. How nerve-wracking was it? Am I doing the right thing? You can't just go off what your parents did with you anymore
Oh, no doubt. I don't.
because you feel
actually.
so fucking guilty with it.
I do.
It's like, my wife tried breastfeeding, and she did for a while, and then it stopped working.
Yeah, ours too.
And so we were forced to put her on formula, and I couldn't help but feel guilty, like I was killing my kid. But now Avery she's on like the 80th percentile for
Yes,
weight, the
it
72nd for height.
Yes.
It ain't killing her.
No.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
No.
And I had people, man, I would go on debates on Facebook about it, and they would just, I feel sorry for your kid. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Listen,
Like,
the
what-
most important time is that month, 2 months after they are born to be taking in that nutrients from the mother's breast.
Yeah.
After that, you're gonna be okay. Now, of course, that's not the way nature intended, but if it's not working and she's not gaining weight, not growing like she needs to, then
And see, I don't know if we can even say that if it's not the way nature intended. I mean, I believe part of the progression of nature is the fact that somebody has invented formula.
Yeah.
I think that is, we don't just ignore that. It's not unhealthy things. And then the shots. Oh my God, with the shots. I am so tired of hearing
vaccine
about
stuff?
immunizations.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude. It's
I'm not for some, but
sure.
But I am for I'm for the minority. I'm for the basics that you gotta have.
Yeah.
So
So
TB.
that's what. So I got in another debate about that on Facebook, and they said, "How many shots did you have when you were a kid?" I was like, I don't know. But they said,
Tons.
"Well, now there's you had this many, and now your kid's gonna have 116 by the time she's 16 years old." I was like, "Yeah, but with all the monkey fucking and goat fucking that goes around, there's a lot more diseases floating around too. I mean, there's a reason for it, and just because." Back in the day, whenever they would prescribe alcohol for certain things, we have gotten smarter than 29 years ago when I was a kid.
Right.
And when I was born. You look at a computer just in 2000 model.
Look
at the technology that's changed.
NASA yesterday brought back bacteria that they've been growing in space so they could study microgravity, the effects of microgravity.
We've solved
And we're worried
everything.
about,
we got nothing better to do than find out new
we
shit.
haven't
so.
solved everything. You know what the most important thing is to solve? A superbug.
A who what?
A superbug.
What is that?
MRSA. Antibacteria resistant disease. That's what we're worried about. It could wipe out the fucking world. And
I don't know anything about it. I guess.
yeah, I don't either.
guess
I don't know.
it's-
I don't know anything about it either. I'm just saying, but that's one of the things that and super volcanoes.
I'm not worried about those. We live far enough away.
No, we don't. Yosemite's not that far. Or, Yellowstone's not that far.
No. Okay. So.
Yellowstone, if Yellowstone blew, because it is a super volcano,
we're fucked.
we would be
We're big
fucked.
time fucked.
It's a continent destroyer.
Yeah.
Continent
Yeah,
destroyer.
you've seen the mantle, right, on the picture?
Mm.
There's a lot down there.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
So I kind of digress. So everyone's very entitled. I
Yes.
blame smartphones. The
For
reason
sure.
being,
Technology and media.
you remember being in school when they said, we were like, why do we got to know this? Well, you can't just get the info. Now I can get anything.
Yeah.
Bam. Right then. So I think that breeds impatience.
For sure.
I think we're all keyboard warriors, so it breeds self-entitlement.
Yes.
Everyone feels like their opinion should be listened to.
Mhm.
And I don't think that's the case. I don't think everyone's a winner. I don't think everyone is first place. I think if you participate and you do not win, you should not get an award. Because I don't want my kid growing up, showing up and getting awards for this and awards for this when she really sucks at it. And now she doesn't try for her whole life because all in all, what can she do? I don't got to work. I don't got to do this.
I'm gonna get a trophy.
I'm going to get fucking money from the government. They're going to pay me for that.
I'm gonna get mine.
You know? I'm not against the government giving out handouts to people who need it. There's so many people out here nowadays, and we
For
don't
sure.
have enough shit for it. But there are people that abuse it
100%.
big time. We got a friend of ours. And I'm not going to name names, but
Yeah.
when he or she got out of a position of employment, they found out all they had to do was apply to jobs to keep getting their payments.
Unemployment.
And so what they were doing is they were sending in applications to be CEO of Bank of America or, head accountant for Halliburton. They were sending in shit they knew they wouldn't get because they knew they were getting money.
Right.
So, and that's a friend of ours. This is a good person. And but it's hard not to turn down free money,
It is.
It's
hard not to turn down free money, especially when the free money that you're getting is probably as much as you're gonna be making a week at some shit job that you're gonna find.
Oh, and then, oh my God. So my dad, 27 years as a police officer, put money back, raised us right. He had true blood American.
For sure.
And he
100%.
he cannot afford to legally have a side job and work because if he makes a certain amount, then his Medicare jumps up to like $1,500 a month for himself. So now he has to work under the table. And that's not something he ever wanted to do. It's
No.
not right. You're not supposed to do that. But the way it's set up, I mean, goddamn, dude, my wife, when she quit working, it was like $1,700 a month for my wife, and my child to have health insurance. You take that and my house payment, and I don't have any money now.
Yeah.
What else do I do? So right now, I've got health insurance. Avery has health insurance, and my wife has nothing.
That's
Can't
how we
afford
are.
it.
We are in that boat too.
We can't afford it, dude. At the same time, I wouldn't have health insurance at all if they didn't find me for it, because I can go rack up $50,000 in medical bills, call them on the phone and say, I can't afford that. No, I can't do that payment. Can't do that payment. That's what we did when she had the baby. So I just kept saying, nope, can't do it, can't do it, can't do it. And they finally said, after saying, well, call this number, we got to transfer you this number. It was a long process, but now we have a 0 interest loan through some bank with no credit ran, no nothing, $50 a month.
Nice.
Dude, I'll tack onto that shit for the rest of my life. I'd
For
rather
sure.
pay no medical insurance and just pay $50 a month and owe them money.
Yeah.
Bam, there's our $1 trillion debt. You know?
Exactly.
That's it.
Well, the $1 trillion debt is widely brought on by the medical industry too. Why does it cost $50,000 to get your pancreas replaced? Why would it cost that much? Or not your pancreas, but like something that
Something, yeah.
your gallbladder taken out. It takes probably costs $15,000-$20,000 get your gallbladder.
Well, an ER visit's $500.
Yeah.
Just for them to look at you.
She had to
Say,
go.
yep, something's wrong with you. Thanks.
She had gotten a spider bite that got infected on the inside of her leg. She's in the hospital for 5 days. It cost us $15,000.
Jesus Christ. Well, so how are you paying for it?
We pay a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'd be willing to bet you can make a couple phone calls and pay less.
Very much so. Let me
No, I'll take that.
break.
Break.
Hey, baby. What's up? Are they going to tow you up there?
Huh?
How much was it? Okay. So they don't, they only tow you so far?
For free, yeah. It's like 15 miles. They'll tow me for free.
USAA?
Yeah.
That's kind of shitty.
You got hammed.
Well, you're saying it's through a third-party service.
Wow.
But, anyway, checker record was going to be like $250. So I just went through USA for 380.
Okay.
So, I'm supposed to get in the truck right now and head that way. So,
Alright, well let me know when you pull into town. I'll come.
I love you. Can you come get me from Patterson?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I love you. I'll be there soon.
Alright, I love you too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So what happened with her car?
Light started coming on and something with the transmission. I don't know. I'm not there.
Yeah.
So they
So
told
her
me
shit
one
would
thing.
run though. She could sit there in the air conditioner.
No, she got out. She was sitting on the side of the highway.
Oh my god, it's so hot.
You're not gonna sit in your sitting in this fucking sitting time bomb. You know, you can't sit in the car.
I'd rather risk it.
No,
I don't like to get hot.
not with my son in the car.
Oh, very true. Oh, your kids with him. Jesus Christ, I forgot about your
That's
kid.
why I've been trying to figure out like if I need to go pick them up or what we're doing.
Yeah.
But she just calls me and kind of freaks out at first, and then we figure out what we're doing, which is okay. And I like being a part of the process, but it makes it easier when she can
Yeah.
handle things on her own. But definitely, I'm gonna go pick her up here in a little bit.
Okay, Patterson.
Back on. I'll just cut all that out.
You want to get on the Harley?
What do you mean?
You ride on the back.
I gotta pick her up and my son.
I got room.
Throw in one of the
Saddlebags.
It's gonna be hot, but don't worry. We'll be there soon.
I didn't realize how hot it was because you know when you're going 80 mile an hour, the air cools you down. Man, when I got to P2, dude, my pants were about to set on fire, and hairy arms. Next time you're going down the road for an extended distance, stick your hand out the window the whole way. You stop and your shit is all frayed out and your hands are all tingly.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bike's like that.
So there's a MC called the Iron Guardians in Denton that I'm thinking about patching into.
That's pretty cool.
They
What are they
do.
about?
They do. It's all about kids. So the scared straight stuff.
Mm.
You know, they talk to troubled teens and scare them out. All these guys have a rough past. So, but they do. It's really anything. I mean, from my understanding, we reach out to kids that are, you know, going down the wrong path.
Right.
And then they have our contact info, like everyone in the clubs. And if they need us, like let's say they're stuck up in a drug house and they decide they don't want to be there and they're scared to leave, they can text us and 15 of us will roll out there
Hell yeah.
and get them out.
Right.
There's one of the founder, I think it was the founder or the president. I talked to them both Saturday, but their kid was getting bullied in school. And so he just walked up there and he said, hey, can me and a couple of my buddies come have lunch with my kid? He's getting bullied. And we just want to show him our support. And the principal said, yeah. Well, then they rolled up patched in with all their vests and everything else. And they show up and he said the principal was like, these are your friends? Because he went up there in a button up with a tie, you know.
Oh yeah.
And so now they're all black vests, Iron Guardians, motorcycle club, and he said they all sat down, like 15 of them had lunch with this kid. And then he said after that, dude, he said that kid the two kids that was bullying my kid were over at my house, hanging out with my kid. They thought he was the coolest kid in school.
That's awesome.
And I was like, that's awesome, dude. I said, I'll be 6-7 years in it whenever Avery's in school, and I'll get 50 guys, and we'll roll up and take her to lunch.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of my regrets of all my decisions in life. Is it was really cool with my dad being a cop.
Right.
You know, everybody knew Clay's dad's a cop. I mean,
Yeah.
You've said it. Everybody knew it, and it made me feel good. So I can't do that for my kid because they won't let me be a cop.
Right.
But now I can give somewhat of a feeling to him. You know, don't mess with Avery. Have you seen her dad's friends? You ain't messing with her. You know?
Yeah, you're gonna need that. You're gonna need that with the girl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And being a skinny ass motorcycle salesman ain't gonna cut it. So I gotta do something.
I sell Harleys, but I ride them too.
I said Harleys, I'll fuck you up.
That's good.
Yeah.
My brother just got an incredible job. He got the, I guess the regional,
Talking about Donnie?
regional sales manager for Suzuki.
No
So
shit.
he's going to be selling everything from Kansas to Shreveport, New Mexico to
Good night of living.
Denton, to down there by y'all.
Jesus. So he's selling motorcycles, I guess, not the cars.
No, I believe he's
Well, Suzuki sells like 50 cars a year, so I'd assume it's something.
75. I think.
I think.
But no, I'm pretty sure it's like motorsports. You know,
Yeah,
motorcycles, ATVs.
and that's your brother's forte, so I would assume.
That's his dream job.
Yeah.
He got out of the oil field. That's the number one thing I'm proud of him for. So
Really?
He been hopping around job to job like all of them do. It seems like, you know.
When do we have to go get Amanda? How much longer?
Hour.
Oh, then we got time to talk about the oil field.
Oh yeah,
I definitely wanted to touch on that.
yeah. They
Because we all got friends in it.
we all have friends in it,
Yeah.
but it's time to get out, man. I think it's really time to get out. I don't think it's gonna go anywhere as far as they think it is. It's gonna keep staying about where it's at right now.
Well,
I
it's
think
like,
it might
it's
grow
like
a
being
little.
on a roller coaster.
It's yeah,
always up
exactly.
and down.
It's exactly right.
And you had commented on that. You saw gas prices creeping up, and so I've got a buddy of mine. I sold him a Harley, and he's probably 24, 25. He's younger than we are. And whenever he bought the Harley, anytime you go to buy a motorcycle, I end up looking at your credit. Man, I know where you live, what you make, where you work, all that stuff. So 25 years old, it was September, year to date, 170,000. That's how much he'd made up to that time of the year. I was like, fucking hey, dude. And that's when I asked where do you work. So
Isn't that
oil
crazy?
field. But now we've gotten real close. He bought Avery her crib. Brand new
Oh,
crib.
really? Wow,
He
that's
went
awesome.
to work. He went to my job and said, hey, where's your gift registry? And I said, it's at Babies R Us. He said, pull it up. And he went through and found the most expensive thing on my list and bought it for her. So it's a great relationship we have.
That's awesome.
He actually went and traded his F-250 and bought a Subaru WRX.
Oh,
'Cause
really?
I told him, I said, go drive one, dude. And he
Yeah.
fucking bought it.
No doubt.
But I've talked to him a lot in the oil field every time it goes up and down. So he's making probably 120, 130 now, which, you know, we hear those numbers and we're like, nice.
Yeah.
You know, but it doesn't matter, man, because those guys in that oil industry, dude, they're all mid-20s, most of them. And what did you do when you were mid-20s with your money?
Blew the
You
fuck
spent
out
every
of it.
fucking bit of it, dude.
Yeah.
So who cares how much they're making? They're giving it right back to the community. Now you got guys like us.
I'm not worried about them spending their money.
Yeah, you got guys like us now. If I made 150 grand a year, and it takes me 50 grand to live, 100 of it's staying in the bank.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it does
right.
not fuel the economy. On top of it, I'm so fucking against paying other people for oil. I don't understand that.
I agree.
I don't get it at all.
I don't either.
And I would rather, and for me, fuel is the cheapest liquid we buy per ounce.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 50 cents a cup, dude. You go to Starbucks and spend $6 on a cup of coffee, and we don't bitch about that.
Nope.
And that's just water with some seeds in it. I mean,
It's true.
this shit's getting pumped out of the ground. It's been there for 1 billion trillion years. We should pay a lot of money for it. And I'd be willing to bet that if gas was $7 or $8 a gallon, we wouldn't have a Ford Explorer. We don't need it.
No.
You don't need 7,000 pounds to get your
Oh.
120-pound ass to work.
I'm a little
You know?
car guy. I'm a
That's
little
it.
car guy.
And Amanda's got a Jeep.
Yeah, Patriot.
That's not a big vehicle either.
4-cylinder.
Yeah, and y'all got your kid. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Man, I've had coworkers, their mom, or their wife's a stay-at-home mom. They got 3 kids, and she's rolling around in an SUV that gets 13 miles to the gallon, and all they do is drive around and fucking do nothing. So, we can't bitch about gas whenever it's one of the most wasted liquids in the world besides water.
Mhm.
So, if we can keep the gas up, keep it local, now we're pumping it. Now we got more jobs here. We're fueling our economy more. I think it's gotta happen, but it's
wrecking the fuck out of our environment.
whatever. Environment's fucked.
It doesn't
Oh,
have
it's
to
big
be.
time fucked.
It doesn't have to be.
I agree, but do you not think we I don't know if you believe on the moon landing. We
What?
put-
Like it's fake?
yeah.
Yeah. No, I believe.
Okay,
We
so
put it-
so we had to. When was that? What
I don't
year?
think that they faked that
What
shit.
year was that?
I don't remember what.
1960 something,
Yeah,
70.
60s, 70s.
We put a fucking man on another planet.
Yeah.
We don't have the technology to make a mode of transportation without petrol.
Mm.
Really? I guarantee it's out there, and we're not letting it happen.
It's 100%
So-
biodiesel.
Okay, or electricity, or fucking anything. There's
There's a-
magnets. You can't figure out a way to take a magnet, two magnets, put them together, and make a car move. We choose not
100%,
to
yeah.
because of the profits.
Yes.
And so that's why I said, who cares about the environment? We can care all we want. Profit, money is going to fucking ruin it anyways. We can't stop that by driving electric cars. You know, I got a motorcycle. People might think that that's frugal spending. But in all reality, it's 800 pounds that takes me to work. That's a lot more, what's the word?
Economic.
It's a lot more economical than a car.
100%.
It gets 50 miles to the gallon.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck how pretty it is or what it costs?
Yeah.
It's a more economical way to get to work.
100%.
That's obviously not my motivation for owning it,
Right.
but no. So yeah, there's a lot of things we do in this environment. Anything as easy as burying our dead. It's like, there's a company now. They put your fucking body in a sack.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
In a sack.
They put you in a sack, bury you in the ground with a sapling, and your body feeds that tree.
Yeah.
Well, the fuck ain't we doing that? How many people die?
100%. I'm doing
Good
that.
night, Olivia.
Me and Amanda have actually talked about that. We are doing that.
Yeah. Instead, we take up a whole area, which cemeteries aren't necessarily hurting the environment, but we're not helping it. Look
No.
at all that land. What if all those cemeteries, instead of a gravestone, there was a tree?
Or urban garden.
What is that?
A garden for homeless people to go help out and
Fucking hey, that's a good idea.
and get food from that they don't
And
have
you
to worry
do,
about.
and take your fucking prisoners and have them maintain it.
Why? You got other people too.
Well, yeah.
People that are looking for jobs, looking for something to do.
Oh, so you pay someone to
No.
to maintain.
You get day laborers from the Salvation Army.
Ah.
You get people that are homeless that want to do something for themselves. There's a place, I forgot where it was, but the city actually built a whole community of little bitty tiny houses for homeless people to go and get their start back on. They've got a garden out there. They work the garden. They do all the
I
stuff
saw
out there
that
in the
on
place.
Netflix.
Yeah,
Is that where you saw that?
I believe so.
Yeah.
It's
That was
incredible.
a good documentary.
Yeah, it was. I forgot
And
which
then
one
the
it was. Mm-hmm.
city kept fucking with them. They kept having to move. Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, that's terrible that people. The laws that we have on nature out around here are just preposterous. Like some places you can't even collect rainwater.
Yeah. Isn't that
What
crazy?
does that mean?
Isn't that crazy?
What does that even mean?
That-
Like I got a bucket out here. I collected some. Do I have to go? Do I go to
Do I
jail?
need to
then?
register this with the police station before I dump it on myself? Like, what the hell's the deal here?
I just really wanted to take a bath.
Yeah. No, I get that, dude. And that's the laws, this police in this country. It's just, and my dad's a cop, so I'm obviously an advocate a little bit towards police, but
I'm 100% for police.
I'm the first one to tell you if I see my dad doing something wrong, I call him out on it.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't care who he is. I want everyone to do the right thing,
100%.
and he would do the same to me.
Right.
I'm his son, but he'd tell me if I'm doing something wrong. And if you look right now, if you're watching this, pause it. Go Google police car in Europe. What the fuck do they look like?
Fucking Lamborghini.
They're no, but they're colorful. They're
Oh,
bright
yes,
colors.
yes.
They're vibrant.
Fluorescent lights.
Look at our police cars, man. I got cars in Denton. I'm not shitting you. I've seen 2003 Dodge Stratuses rolling around that are police cars, completely hidden, because we trap you. We got speed traps. I've gotten tickets from fucking cameras. I'm getting tickets from
Yes.
things that aren't even cops anymore, and it's like now you look at this is another argument I had on Facebook. Someone posted a video of this little family, this little kid was fucking up in school. She called the police. The police come out
Yes.
and threatened to take him to jail. And they were obviously not going to, but I was like, that is so fucking wrong, dude. I said, the
100%.
police are not there to hurt, harm, and kill and everything else.
Yeah, that's
And-
putting a fear of police already instilled into that child.
And I'll tell you about that fear is not just in kids.
I have a fear of police.
Well, and you shouldn't. And the police are there to
Not
help.
so much
Yeah.
of fear, but I am very cautious when engaging with them. Because I
Sure.
don't know what they have been through.
Exactly.
Or what they've done earlier, what they just came from.
Mhm.
I don't know if they just came from a domestic violence dispute where he just watched
Yeah.
the father beat the shit out of his wife and kids.
Well,
I don't know.
You ever been
know.
to work and said something to your boss you shouldn't have said because of problems at home?
100%.
Yeah, cops got those problems too, and then they're going to work and they're getting more shit
Yeah.
from every. I don't know how my dad did it.
I
I
don't
get.
either.
You remember he was hard on me,
He was.
and I
very.
get it
Yeah.
now.
I do too.
I understand it.
Your dad is a hell of a man.
Yeah.
He really is.
He has, and I tell you, dude, this is. So he was hard to grow up with my whole life. Of course, I wasn't an easy kid to grow up with either. We got in some shit.
We
Didn't
were
we?
nice.
We got in some shit, brother. But when I got out of the military, it was still the same old dad. He was still stressed out, and we ended up getting in an altercation at a movie theater where he hit me in the face. I was 23 or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I very calmly, when he got out of the car, called Rowdy Majors up and said, come get me. And I had made the decision that I'll never talk to my dad again. I'm out of the house, this and that. And he stopped me on the way out of the house. Like, I'm telling you, dude, I was 30 seconds away. To this day, I would still never talk to him. And I told him, I said, Dad, I don't hate you. I'm not mad at you. I don't want that to happen again. And so I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure it doesn't happen. And there's something that clicked in his head there. And, dude, and of course, retirement had a lot to do it too. But fucking, hey, dude, he is the most laid back guy you'd ever meet.
Right.
He's out fishing right now with my brother and my mom. Like, that's not my dad, dude.
It's not your
I'd
dad.
be like, Dad, you want to go in the kitchen and eat a cookie with me? No, I'm tired. He wouldn't get out of his chair. He's worn the fuck out.
Yeah.
I get it. But now it's like, oh, he's living life, and that's good. But yeah, man,
That's awesome. I'm glad he deserves the fuck out of it.
yeah. Oh yeah. And the thing is too, my mom she's still at Pioneer.
Yeah.
And that's the shitty thing is, you think about it, man. She's paying off all her credit card debt for raising us. And man, what's gonna happen whenever it comes time for her to pay that off and retire? Can she actually retire? Because now look, her medical insurance is gonna go up. You know, it's like all this. There's some fucked up shit. Now then, that takes me back to, I would not mind someone as dumb and irresponsible and impulsive as Trump getting in there if he can fix that. Just fix that one fucking thing,
Yeah.
and that directly affects me and my family.
It does.
As
well as mine.
foreign trade policies and buying shit from Mexico, I could give a fuck less, but affect my family directly. Taxes are big too. What are you paying taxes last year?
I don't have a clue.
You don't have a clue?
I don't. I try not to even pay attention to it because I can't change it.
I paid $23,000 in taxes.
I don't even look at the shit.
23 grand, dude.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? For what?
So you can live in a free country.
Nope. That'd be why I joined the military.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
To pay for all those iPhones.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
I don't know. I don't know why you pay $23,000 in tax.
Well, it wasn't me personally. That's just the arithmetic. That's the algorithm for how much I made, how much I had to pay in taxes. But if you look at every one of your paychecks, instead of looking at what you're taking home, look at what you just paid. And it's for shit. And you're like, Social Security. And my dad, let's say he collects Social Security, he's still got to fucking work.
Wouldn't it be a great idea if you could? If there was, they should just take all this, they should get rid of the IRS and you pay your taxes and you pay them towards what you want them to go to. Mm-hmm. If you want them to go to schools, you pay for schools,
Yeah.
roads, bridges, waterways, historical monuments, whatever the
For your
fuck you want.
taxes.
Yes.
And
know,
you're saying you get to pick.
you should be able to pick. I mean, of course, there's going to be things that nobody wants to pay for.
Waste management.
Waste management.
Well, they wouldn't want to pay for it at first.
Right.
then it would become a
It
problem. I'm
would become a
assuming.
problem. Well, that's where I think everybody would. People are dumb in a whole, but individually, we're smarter than people give us credit for. I think if they gave us the opportunity to make the right decisions, I think we would prevail. I really do. I think we should be given the chance as a nation. Maybe that will help everything. I don't know, but because I'm not an economist. But
No, and I think you're right on that. So right now, just to go back on what you're saying, so we're taking our money, we're giving it to someone else to spend on our accord, and we just hope they do the right thing.
exactly, that's what we're doing.
Would you believe me if I told you I have signed a check for a $3,000 fan to go on a cockpit in an airplane? That's what it costs us, $3,000.
I believe you.
I've gotten fuel pipes that are about a foot long and have one bend in it, $5,800. The spending on the government. Oh, here's another fucked up thing. Your company might do this. I don't, you work for this. Who do you work for? What
Alcoa.
the hell they do?
We make,
Powmed.
we make
Okay.
we make turbine engine blades.
So y'all
all
get-
the
so y'all-
all the injet planes that y'all have that have turbines that have blades in them, we make those.
Do you
we
get
have
government
contracts.
funding at all?
We have contracts with the government.
Okay, so bam. Do you get a allowance annually?
No.
Military gets an allowance. So our shop got an allowance. We had X amount of dollars
I
that
don't know
we
that
were, huh?
I don't know that we get an
Oh.
allowance. I don't know anything.
So
about
the
that.
government would, and a lot of companies do this, and they give you an allowance that you are able to spend on things you need, like computers, or if you need a projector for training, or if you need tools or whatever. Well, we were fucking set, dude.
Right.
But if you don't use that money, they don't give it to you the next year. It's
I
called
see.
use it or lose it.
Gotta use it.
So we would have fucking, hey dude, I'd come into work and there'd be 3 Xboxes and 3 flat screens set up in a room. Our pool tables, foosball tables, because we didn't want to lose the money. So we're just fucking blowing it on shit we don't need. This is the military, dude. And that's where the fuck do you think your tax dollars go?
Oh, I know.
They do go to stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
people say we can't afford government or military cuts. We can't afford it.
Yeah.
100% you
Mhm.
can. 100%.
They-
I've never been in the military, but I know enough to know, and I've known enough people in the military to know that that's a bold-faced lie.
The work of the people is very efficient
Yes.
because they have proper training
Mhm.
to be efficient without pay. I was making $1,500 a month and thought I was rolling in it,
Yeah.
and I've never worked that hard. If I was to take that job now, I wouldn't do it for less than $250,000 a year.
Yeah.
Because the amount of work I put in, the hours I put in, the time I put in, the inclement weather. Just there's no. If it snows, you might not have to go to work. My fucking ass is out there working, dude, for $1,500 a month, and it's because they trained me to do that. It's the work ethic in this country is just shit.
It's terrible.
It is.
It's terrible.
If I'm not, and the integrity, if I'm not made to do something, I probably won't do it unless I feel it's right.
This may be wrong, and it might just be localized here, but I feel like after we graduated, it was everybody after us is lazy as fuck. Now, of course, there are lazy people before, and there's lazy people that are in our class, but majority-wise, my nephew's 23, doesn't work, hasn't had a job, bounced around from job to job, doesn't really want to work. He doesn't have
He
a
doesn't
problem.
have
with
to,
He doesn't
though.
have a problem.
He
He's
doesn't
getting
have to.
unemployment right now.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't. He doesn't even think about, well, what's my next move? Where do I find a job?
Mhm.
I've told him to apply at Helmet because we're hiring back now and stuff, and I haven't heard nothing back from him. 'Cause I know he's not. I know he doesn't want to get out there and make the money. He can sit on his ass and play video games and collect a little bit of money.
And
live just
the
fine.
shitty thing, correct me if I'm wrong, he's probably living a better life than we are.
100%.
His bills are paid, no responsibilities, and that's one of the biggest things with joining the Iron Guardians is what I told my wife was I said our life consists of just nothingness. It's work and home. For you stay home all day. I was like, we need something else, and a couple months ago I got diagnosed with PTSD. I don't know if you knew
I didn't
that.
know that.
So since 2009, I've had it
From what?
from the military.
From when? What?
There's It took me 6 hours to talk to the shrink, so we don't have that kind of
Okay.
time. But when we were done, he said most cases of PTSD is a very quick traumatic thing. You know, maybe a car wreck, you saw a baby get blown up, your buddy lost his leg, and then bam, you're just scarred for life. He said you have one of the worst cases of PTSD I've ever seen in my life, and it's not even combat related. So basically, when I got out of the military, I had this new persona, this new look on life that was completely different from when I said bye to y'all and left.
Yeah.
And
I know.
I was
I
not,
know that.
Yeah, I was not the same happy-go-lucky guy. I was not easy to get along with. So we have had a horrible time with me trying to make friends, to the point where when Deidre would try to make friends, I would almost shut it off. I would shut it off. She couldn't even have friends because I didn't like the people that much. I had my own look on things. Everyone was an idiot. I was always right. It wasn't right. Of course, I'm on Wellbutrin now, which has changed everything. And here's the funny thing about it is, like, you would have known if when I came back, if we had spent some substantial time together, you would have realized a big change in me. And you
Well,
might
I
have-
did enough, you know.
Mhm.
I knew something was off on you. I knew that it had changed. You
It
had
only
changed.
takes an hour to see it,
Yeah.
but my wife didn't know me before that. None of my coworkers knew me before that, and I didn't see any of my friends from high school. So the people that called me out on it were my parents, and it was Thanksgiving of last year. And they waited till my wife was out of the room, and they came in there and they said, "Clay, you have changed. There's something wrong with you. You need to go get looked at." And sure enough, I did. I went and got looked at, and the VA doctor, the VA shrink,
Mhm.
she said, "There's something going on. I can't quite put my finger on it, so I need you to go see someone else." So she sent me to someone who was actually a civilian, who was extremely expensive, somewhere north of $500 an hour
Right.
to see this guy, but I didn't have to pay for it. VA did.
Right.
But yeah, so bam, and then 2 weeks later, got it. They found out what it was. They fixed it right away. And it's been a whole, now we've got friends, and so the thing with Iron Guardians is I'm now in a new place. Just like I went to P2 and I met Justin's girlfriend. She knew me. She knew my name. Everywhere I go in this town, somebody knows my name. They know me. I can relate. I'm in a whole foreign country out there. So with the Iron Guardians, it gives us, it is pretty cool. Motorcycle club. It is a lot like what you see on TV. He told me, he said, if we go out to lunch and your wife goes to the bathroom, I send 2 guys with her. I'm like, that's pretty fucking cool right there, you know?
Yeah,
I
that's
like
cool.
that
That's
treatment. You know? But
Very cool.
there's that.
Very cool. You said that you don't really have anything. Are you not going to church or any stuff anymore? No.
Nope.
Why not?
That's, I don't know. I don't have a good reason. That's one of my goals. So
Do you want
there's
to get back into church?
there's 6 areas of your life that you should make a goal for. It's, let me see if I can remember them. It's career, family, spiritual, intellectual, social, and there, what was the other one? Oh, did I say physical?
No.
Okay, physical. So I've hit all my goals except for the spiritual one, which was to have a church that we attend regularly, and then social. Have at least, this was my goal, have at least one good friend. That, you know what I mean by a good friend. I got lots of friends, but someone that you hang out with all the time, you
Right.
text, you call. So those are the 2 I haven't hit. I've hit everything else. And so it's one at a time. The funny thing is, the Iron Guardians my goal was for social, but they say God first, then family, then career, and somewhere in the line, the motorcycle club, which is not my persona of a motorcycle club.
No.
It's
Who's this?
This is the Iron Guardians.
Okay.
So there's a lot of clubs, especially in Wichita Falls. You see a lot of patches. It's really just about 5 or 6 guys that wear the same patch. It's
Yeah.
not part of what's called the COC, which is like the Commission of Clubs or something.
Right. Now, I know a little bit about
So they don't follow the same bylaws or anything else. The Iron Guardians is the COC, and of course the Banditos run Texas.
Right.
That's who we fall under. But we're so far down the line,
Right.
we don't actually It's not the same thing. I mean, if a bandito was to walk up to me and say, "I need you to take this and go kill somebody," I can say, "I'm out. No, thanks.
Right.
I'm just gonna get out of the club altogether." Then, you know, that's the Iron Guardians. From what I understand, is one of the only clubs you can do that with.
Well, that's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be cool. You still got your scooter?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
In the shop over there. I rode it 2 weeks ago. I just don't even really have time anymore. I've been thinking about selling it.
Yeah.
I just really don't even have time for it.
That's so many either. I mean, mine's got under 5. I think I just hit 5,000 miles today. I've had it a year and a half.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wanted to sell it too, but of course, if I get in this club, I'm not going to.
Right. You'll be on it a lot more then, probably.
Maybe, maybe not. But if it has some sort of purpose, then it's worth the 30 grand sitting in the garage.
Yeah, for sure.
'Cause
100%.
right now, it fucking ain't.
You
know?
Right.
It was pretty nice having it today, though. Like I said, I couldn't get out of the driveway, but I was going to take it anyways.
Snuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, thinking about, so eventually you're going to be getting back into church.
No, I will.
Yeah.
And even if it's, I'm not. I should have made a better goal. I mean, going to church isn't really that important. It's just living life the way you're supposed to. And it was kind of hard. You know, the church I was in here was, I was an active member. I played in the band, and I had a lot to do with it. Now, I will tell you, I don't know if you've ever gotten that involved in a church where you're a member of the staff, essentially.
No.
But you begin to see there is a lot of behind-the-scenes drama with every church.
100%.
And it's very controversial stuff. There were members that were leaving because of differences in views, and things were said that shouldn't have been said. But I still loved the church, man. I loved all the people, and I have not. And that's the deal is, we had a philosophy that was different than any other church. We didn't have a building; we rented one. I can't remember the exact numbers, but I want to say that the average overhead for a church was like 80 or 90% of its income, which is crazy. You know, just to keep it running. Ours was at 40%.
Yeah.
But that was because our preachers took a very, very minimal income. And we didn't own a building, so we just paid a small rent. And up here, you go to a church in Denton, dude, or even a lot of them here, it's like I can't even go take a piss without seeing something stuck on the wall about donating money. It's like, give me a break, man. So we've tried a couple. I'm not feeling them. I'm not fitting in. I'm not getting it, and I don't know. So if I go to the Iron Guardians and I get fellowship through that, then I'm counting that
100%.
big time.
Whatever you can get, whatever you need out of whatever. You know?
What about y'all? Do y'all have a church here?
No. She's still a little religious. I'm not.
You know.
I'm not religious anymore. No. I have since gone towards science. I just, when I found out that I was diabetic, I started researching everything, and one rabbit hole led to another rabbit hole, and now I'm 5 years in, and I spend probably an extra $150 a month on internet access, so that way I can look at as much shit as I possibly can, and it's changed everything in my life. I mean, as far as from what I eat to how I raise my son to what I believe people should be doing with their lives and with their money, And I don't think anybody should be doing anything with their money, whatever they want to do with their money.
Yeah.
But I just all the science behind everything and new research that's found every day. It's just the biblical stories seem just like that, more legend than anything to me. Like they're fabricated. A lot of these stories that are in the Bible were told over thousands of years around fucking campfires. You played a game as a child.
The telephone game? Yeah, I played that.
Now, I'm not saying that that's what happened. and I'm not
No,
saying.
it makes sense that it would.
But of course, you also have to remember that religion, period, is man-made.
Mhm.
If there is a God, and if He wants you to believe in something, it's not something that this guy wrote down.
Yeah. Well, see, I think you're right. I don't think religion was a thing back when Jesus was alive
It wasn't.
because it didn't need to be.
Well, there
You know-
was, because there was the church, because the church though was brought on by the government, because government needed to control the people somehow, be in fear of the holy, control the population.
And that's the deal too. Is right now, on my beliefs, is the way to get into heaven is to believe that Jesus died for your sins. Now, that could not possibly have been the same standards when he was still alive.
Of course.
The
So what
people
about
that
the
died
dead?
and went to heaven there, I don't know if there even was. I don't know. I wasn't there.
Right.
But a lot of it is the same thing that, like Scientology, it's the same thing that they say is a cop out for Christians
Scientology
is
ridiculous.
the word faith.
Scientology's a
Yeah.
fucking joke,
For-
and it's
Mhm.
dwindling down to nothing.
Yeah,
There's
I
only
don't
like,
hear much about
there's only
it.
like there's only like 20 or 30,000 members now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's gone down a lot.
Wow. No, it's. My thing with the religion is, and I asked a question a long time ago in church, and I said, how does an infant, or how does like a 13-year-old in Africa who's never had any exposure to Christianity, how do they have a fair chance?
Where's the fairness?
And what the preacher told me, or the guy that I was talking to, he said, there is evidence of God everywhere. It's maybe not God. Maybe you're in Africa and you're a 13-year-old and you're looking at a rock and a rose sprouts out of it. You don't have to say, oh, that must be God, because you don't know. But you
Okay.
have to understand and believe that there is something out there that is causing this stuff.
Mm.
Here's my problem with the Big Bang Theory. Is out of chaos, there cannot ever be control. You know what I mean? So basically, if I took a bag full of confetti and shook it up and busted the bag, you know as well as I do that a model car is not going to pop out. So how does something like the Big Bang, it's just basically a huge explosion, this bam, vast, huge explosion. How did we come out of that?
Over billions and billions of years of stars colliding and different gases and minerals colliding with different places and colliding and making this Earth. They actually think that Earth is 2 different planets.
And that's all possible. But what I look at it, and of course, like I said, it's always going to, anytime you have a conversation like this, it's always going to end up with blind faith.
100%.
So if somebody comes, here's where I am. If Jesus walked in that door right now and said, hey, I'm fake. This is not real. Everything that you've known about me is false. I'm still going to believe it. That's how I was raised. It's
Right.
just in my head.
Right.
But you could go before the stars colliding. And then what was there?
What was there? We don't
Who
know.
knows?
We don't
And that's
know.
the whole,
You can't
to
go
me,
back to the past that far.
to me, with Scientology anyways, which I know you said it's going away,
There's
but
not evidence before that point.
that's the deal, is what is science based off of? It's all evidence.
Yes.
So, for instance, how long
It's all
ago?
evidential. It's all factual evidence.
How long ago were dinosaurs on the Earth?
Hundreds, millions of years ago.
Okay, so what evidence do we have of that?
Bones.
Carbon
Fossil
dating
fuels.
on the bones. But how do we know that's accurate? That's a man-made type of test that we've done on something.
Right.
You know, so it's like.
But it's still an algorithm.
Absolutely, and everything's ran by algorithms. That's another Netflix
That was a good.
deal. Did you watch that one?
Algorithm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everything's algorithms.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, there is absolutely no 100% certain facts. For instance, we can't pull a bone out of the ground and know the exact date it went there. So we're still estimating. And
Of
when
course,
you're talking
100%.
about billions as a number, we could be way fucking off there. You could be 4 million years off and still be real close.
Yeah.
Because it's a billion.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right, because we're here. We're going to be here
Yeah.
for 80, 90 years, hopefully,
And that's, yeah.
and that's just a.
That's where the telephone game, like you mentioned, it makes so much sense to me as far as I've never read the Bible for that reason. Is there's so many things that happened so long ago and went through so many translations and so many different mouths. The bottom line for me is I know that something somewhere had to start something. And it's way beyond what our mind could ever process.
100%. We are not that intelligent.
That's right. So, if my 2 ultimatums or when I die I get to go somewhere good, or when I die I just disappear, I'm gonna believe in the one that takes me to where I might go somewhere good.
I do not believe we die and we disappear.
There's reincarnation.
I don't believe in reincarnation.
What do
I
you
believe
think
that we just. I believe we have some sort of a soul or spirit, a consciousness about us that gets fed back into the system.
Sure.
You know, not a reincarnation. I'm not gonna die and fucking become a caterpillar tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that our thoughts and all of our pasts, our knowledge is passed on. It's very difficult to explain, and
No,
I don't do a very
getting
good
it,
job
dude.
of it.
Yeah.
But you,
You go somewhere.
yeah,
The thing is,
a lot like Avatar,
Mhm.
somewhat. I mean, it's a fucking science fiction movie, but it's still based on, you know, it's not based on anything, but it's
Yeah.
logical.
the big question is, are we conscious of when this happens? Like, who's to say this isn't the 75th life you've lived?
Mm.
We don't know.
Mm.
Or maybe it's all on some big recycle.
Could be,
You know.
could be.
And there's so many. There's times I thought like, what if everything you see is just a fabrication of your mind, like me? What if I'm really not here? There's really no fucking way to know that. There's no science that's going to tell us that.
Well,
Anything's possible.
there is science that's starting to tell us that. There's
Like-
science that has came to the conclusion that there is actually life after death now, or not a life after death, but there is a consciousness after death. I didn't really read into it a whole lot, but you know, our neuron system in our brain is very active.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's firing for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
And that's like, how much of the human brain do we use?
3%,
Like
3
such
to
a small
6%.
amount. And look how smart we are with that, dude. Like,
Yeah.
can you imagine one person being able to tap into just 50% of it?
Or just
I mean,
10%.
we might look at somebody who uses
Look at all you
4% of their brain, and we think they're geniuses.
Darren probably uses 4% of his brain,
Yeah, he's smart as fuck.
and we use like 2.
That's all I need.
I don't need any more.
Breathe, fart, and drink. I mean, that's it. What else are we gonna have?
I'm content with that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna have to wrap this
Are we
one
on?
up here. No. Well, thanks for coming on the podcast, Clay. You guys go like and subscribe to our YouTube channel,
Do it.
Facebook, and go see Clay down in Denton, right?
Yeah.
Harley, what's the
American Eagle,
American Eagle Harley Davidson,
not the clothing store.
not the clothing store. Go get you a fucking Harley,
We do sell clothing.
you bitches. And remember, good gardening, one love, and science, motherfucker.
Science.
Thanks everybody. Remember, go like us on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks Clay Yons for coming up here, buddy.